So we're talking about labiaplasty, and you were actually a real patient of mine who had this procedure done recently.
Yes.
So I wanted to just ask you, so you could share with other women what the procedure's like. First of all, why did you come in to see me in the first place? That takes a lot of guts to come to see someone about this.
It's something that I've been very self-conscious about for a very long time. For 20 years, I've dealt with hiding, wanting to hide myself, and just, it's like a dirty little secret, and something about yourself that you don't love doesn't make you feel very good.
What bothered you about it?
I was teased once. Somebody said something and pointed it out to me, and then I realized, oh no, something about me, I feel different. I feel ugly.
And that's such a horrible feeling. First of all, no one should ever say anything like that to another person, but that's something that we carry inside of us when that happens, isn't it? So you tried for years to put it off, and then what finally led you to, in fact, you had talked to me about it years ago, I just remembered that, and then you didn't do it.
Yes.
So it's something that takes a long time to get around to.
Yes. I think for a while I struggled with what would the recovery be like? Would I have time? I feel like sometimes with children, work, do you have time to deal with a recovery like that? And then finally one day I said, okay, I've had this problem long enough. Let's get it behind, and let's do something about it,
Yeah. And sometimes it's just the right time. Yes. Did you ever have that feeling that some of us have, like, maybe I don't deserve this, or I'm not, it's a waste of money, or I shouldn't be taking this time for myself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hard problem sometimes as women. We don't want to take that time that we take for ourselves. Sometimes it's really hard to say, I need some me time.
Yeah.
This is about me.
Yeah, and just it's that I'm worth it feeling, I think. A lot of us struggle with when we're thinking about doing something really nice for ourselves. Mm-hmm. So it can take a long time. Well, then you finally came in, you got brave and you came on in. And what was that first visit like when we met? How was it for you? Were you scared?
Pure excitement. Pure excitement. I could not wait. I could barely talk because I was just like, I'm ready for surgery day. I'm ready to do this, and it's been so exciting.
Well, tell us what it was like. Like, so you came in and we did some pictures, and then we looked at the pictures and did some drawings. And so did you feel like you had a good idea of how it was going to turn out?
Oh, absolutely. After I kind of came out of the room and you showed me the pictures and you really explained, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and I felt really thorough, and I felt like I had a good understanding in my expectations, and I felt like I understood everything.
You actually had a reduction of the labia minora and also had some childbirth injury where there were some tears, and so you actually had a perineal repair too, which is what we call it, where we tighten the opening of the vagina a little bit as well. So can you share how many babies you had and how that went, and what were things like after you had children?
So I've had two. After my son, the first baby, it wasn't as bad. Second baby, I had some tearing, and I felt like things kind of looked different. Mm-hmm. And then that's when it really kind of added to I was already self-conscious, and then after baby number two, after the tearing, and I felt like it didn't repair, and it just didn't look, the skin just did not look the same.
And and you're married, I know, and when we're married and we're in a sexual relationship, that can really change the way we relate to each other sexually, right? If we feel subconsciously bad about the way something looks, did that change your sex life?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Our intimacy level definitely decreased after baby number two.
So sad.
I think, when your confidence is down, you don't want to get intimate, and then you feel yourself hiding and not wanting to share that with the other person. And then it just kind of starts to really affect the marriage after a while.
Yeah, which is really sad, but it can. For the study that I did, one of the biggest libido killers was self-image issues. If there's something that we don't feel comfortable with, we want the lights out, we don't want somebody looking down there, maybe oral sex is off the table, all of those things. And so, yeah, it is something that can really change our relationships in subtle or not so subtle ways, I think. So you decided to have the surgery. And then you showed up on the day of surgery. What was this? What was it like at the surgery center? How did that go? What was your day of surgery like?
Well, I've had surgery before. However, this setting was more comfortable. It was just more comfortable. It was a more relaxed atmosphere. I came in, the nurses were laughing, we were joking, we played around. I kind of hung out on my phone, and then I saw you in the back and ready to go.
Yeah, I've had surgery there too. It's a nice little surgery center, isn't it? How about when you woke up? How did you feel?
I felt great.
Did you have any pain when you
No.
woke up?
When I woke up, there was no pain, and I actually had a very long drive back. I live in Jamaica Beach, Texas, so the drive was about an hour and 20 minutes home. Zero pain on the ride home.
Great.
So
Because we use this long-acting local anesthetic, which is great. Now, it does wear off, right? And that's not so much fun later that night.
it does wear off. I do recommend getting ahead of the pain instead of trying to catch up to the pain.
That's smart.
My experience, first 3 days are the hardest days.
Yeah.
And I would not describe it as unbearable. I would describe it as find a good movie and kind of Netflix out and just hang out in the bed for the first 3 days. Don't expect to have much activity going on. Yeah. After the first 3 days, the discomfort really, starts to really lower, and then it's mostly about itchiness.
Yes, and so that's so typical.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 days of pain, and then it gets irritating because the stitches don't dissolve for 2 weeks, or even sometimes a little bit more, right?
Right.
Yeah, which is so annoying. But the good thing is, it doesn't separate because those stitches stay there. So that's the good thing about those. But yeah, they get pretty irritating, right? So you used a topical cream to help with that, and was that helpful?
It was helpful. And I feel like icing the area, that also helped. Everyone's going to be different, I'm sure, but icing it really helped me.
Yeah. So overall, pretty manageable. And then the first time you saw me again 2 weeks later, how did you feel when you saw the 2-week picture compared to the first one?
The 2-week picture was very emotional. It's still emotional for me to talk about. Just because it was such a long time living with something. And then to finally look at myself and not be embarrassed. And that's a really good feeling. And I feel like that today. And I feel like a new me today.
Wow.
I really do.
Yeah. Well, I just want to tell you, like, being part of that journey with you almost brings me to tears too, because people think it's such a small thing, and maybe it is, but if you can change your life in that way to be so much more open and feel so good about yourself, what would you say to other women who maybe have been hiding at home and were not wanting to talk to anyone about this?
I would say don't be embarrassed to come and see the doctor. I was really embarrassed to even see you. I was worried that maybe she's gonna look at me and I don't know. I was that self-conscious about it.
It's that feeling something's wrong with me, right? And we want to hide.
Yes.
But this is a safe place, right?
This is a very safe place.
And there's nothing wrong. It's just something that we see all the time.
Yes. And just getting over the embarrassment and coming in and saying, okay, if you don't like something about yourself, just why not fix it? Yeah. I mean, don't you feel better when you have a new pair of shoes on? Then this is the same thing, I mean, I feel so much better, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I finally came in and had this procedure. I feel like a brand new person. Really
so
do.
How do you think this is going to affect your relationship and your sex life going forward?
We've already had conversations where both of us are excited. I think that my confidence, we're going to have a renewed intimacy, and I really think that it's something that will bring us together both as a couple. I will not be hiding myself as much, and I'm really excited to just let it, to be free now. I mean, before I was not free. I feel free, and so.
Yeah, and I love the use of that word, actually, because I think a lot about freedom when it comes to removing these things that are causing us to not be able to do everything that we could possibly do in life. So Yeah, if it takes something like a minor surgery to feel more free so that we can do whatever we want to, and it's safe, and you can get it done with a doctor who knows what they're doing in a nice surgery center, just I hope that other women can hear this and understand that they don't have to live with this, that they, and if they're happy, that's great. But if it is something you're struggling with, you can feel like you do.
Yes, absolutely. I would say, definitely do not be scared of this procedure from the beginning to where I'm post-op, 16 days today. I'm in no pain. I'm feeling good. I'm back to exercising. I went on a walk yesterday. So it's not this huge invasive surgery. I mean, only 16 days later, and I feel fabulous. I'm already back to wearing my regular clothes.
You look like nothing happened.
Yes, and I feel like nothing happened.
Can't have sex yet, but that'll be coming soon.
No.
That'll be interview number 2 to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I hope
you.
that this helps other women to understand a little bit more about it.
Yes, I hope so too. And thank you for everything. I've really enjoyed this whole thing.
Truly my pleasure.